What's up guys, welcome back here to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm really excited about today's video because what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a mid-year evaluation on the 2020 goals that I have set for myself this year. Since it's June, I kind of wanted to review the goals that I have set for myself and give you guys an update on how I've been working on them, how I plan on working on them a little bit better for the rest of this year, and just give you guys an update if you've been following along with my channel. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So everyone knows that 2020 has been an insane year so far, and I think for the most part I have done pretty well at being able to stay on track with the goals that I've set for myself. I'm trying to work really hard because they do mean a lot to me, and so I have had a lot of intention centered around them and a lot of motivation to try to accomplish these goals. So for the most part, I feel like I have done a pretty good job at trying to stay on track with them, and I did a little bit of time reflecting before making this video, just thinking about the goals that I have set for myself and how I have honestly been working on them and what the status is for that. So one thing I've been doing to try to stay on track with my goals is, if you have seen some of my other videos or if you've been following along with me, you'll know that I talk a lot about my Hollis priority planner. I got this about a month ago, I believe, and I love to use this as a way to plan out my day, and I always have my goals in the back of my mind and how I can start to work on them a little bit better. So anytime that I come and plan out my day, which is seen here, there is just a schedule that I use to plan out my day, but whenever I go to plan out my day, I try to think about my goals and what it is that I want to get done with the tasks in my day and how I can accomplish my goals that I have set for myself. So I like to use this priority planner as a way to write down and actually visually see what it is that I am wanting to work on. If you are new here to my channel and haven't seen my very first YouTube video, I talk about the 2020 goals that I have set for myself and why I set them and how I plan on working on them. So if you're interested in checking out that video, if you haven't seen it already, I'll link it up above in the cards here, but we're gonna go ahead and get on into my goals and what my thoughts are on them. So the first goal that I had set for myself was, at least at the beginning of the year, one of my most important goals that I had wanted to prioritize and kind of put a lot of effort into, and that was to grow spiritually. This goal is still very important to me, and every time that I think about it, I just think about how much more I should be doing with it. But as I was reflecting, I was trying to be really honest with myself and just realizing that I've just been doing okay with this goal, and it's definitely something that I need to work on a lot more as I finish out this year. And this goal was really important to me and still is, because I really do want to be able to listen and discern where it is that God is calling me in my life and the calling that He has for me. I have moved down here to Florida, and while it's been a great experience so far, I just still want to be able to hear and learn what it is God has me down here for, and also what else I can be doing with my time and what else He is calling me to. And because ultimately at the end of the day, if these goals that I have set for myself aren't where God is calling me, then I am honestly just working on them for selfish reasons, and they are really just distracting me from what it is that I should be prioritizing my time on and what I should actually be doing in order to contribute to the calling that He has for me. And a lot of the other goals that I have set for myself are really things that I do personally really want to work on and get into, but I want to make sure that they also kind of coincide or go along with what my calling is, because I don't want to be creating idols that are being put in my life that are distracting me from my calling, if that makes sense. So what I plan on doing a little bit more is I have been doing devotionals in the morning, and I want to start getting a little bit deeper in scripture and definitely spending a lot more time in prayer, so that way I can understand and discern and hear where the Lord is calling me, like I keep on saying. So that is how I'm going to plan on working on this goal, is just being more intentional about the time that I'm able to set aside from whatever it is that I'm doing and actually focus on either reading scripture or praying or whatever else that might look like. My goal number 2 kind of coincides with my first goal, and that is to have more faith over fear. And I think personally, this goal has been working out a lot in my life, and I've actually been doing pretty well with it. And considering all that's been going on in the world today, I don't want to get controversial at all, but it's just we have been experiencing a lot. And like I said, 2020 has been a really interesting year, and I could see how a lot of fear has just been put into our lives recently in this year. But I think that I have been able to really kind of guard my heart and my mind when it comes to all that's been going on. I know that the time of quarantine was really hard, but I am really happy because I was able to go up and be with my family and not let the stress of the news or the media get to me and how I was feeling and impact my life in any way. I was really happy because I was able to still rely on God and know that He had a purpose for why things were happening, and also that He was watching over me and that I did not have to be afraid in whatever was going on in the media or whatever had been portrayed in the news, and that I was able to still live my life normally and not let any of that affect me otherwise. And so it gives me a lot of joy to be able to look at that goal and know that I have still been able to stay on track with that, and to know that I can have faith and trust in God, that I don't need to fear. And now that I'm back down here living alone in my apartment here in Florida, that can be really intimidating and hard, but I just have a lot of peace knowing that God is watching over me and that I do not need to have any worry or fear when it comes to living on my own, because I know He has great plans for me and they are far greater than I could ever create or think of on my own. So with this goal, I still plan on having that mentality of having more faith over fear and continuing that out in the rest of this year with whatever it might look like and whatever we might have in store for us. All right, so now getting into my third goal, I feel like I just have a lot to say and speak on with this goal. And that goal was to start a blog and a YouTube channel. And I'm happy to say that I have done both. And this is probably going to be the highlight of my year here in 2020, is starting this blog and YouTube channel. I have enjoyed this process so much recently, and this is something that I started coming into 2020 here. I wrote down that I was going to start a blog and a YouTube channel, and I have done a ton of work on both of them when it comes to that. I have not really done a lot with my blog recently, and that's because I have set super ambitious goals for myself when it comes to my YouTube channel. I'm still planning on working on the blog, but right now I just have my YouTube channel set at a higher priority than my blog. But as far as my YouTube channel goes, I have just enjoyed making videos so much. I feel like I grew up with the love of making videos, but I didn't actually know that I could edit them and kind of put them on a platform for other people to see. And so when it came to my YouTube channel, I started it and I just kind of fell in love with the idea of being able to make and share videos and have a way of being able to spread and share joy or whatever it is that's going on in my life, or just kind of share some helpful tips or whatever it might be with other people. So I have just enjoyed that so much. It has helped me to be really motivated down here, just living on my own. I might not necessarily have a ton going on just because I'm still starting out on my own alone, but with having this YouTube channel, I feel like I have something that I'm able to manage, and it brings me a lot of joy to be able to have something that I'm able to work on and grow for myself. So that's why I've been super excited about being able to have a YouTube channel, and I've set a lot of goals for myself that I'd like to share with you guys now, just to tell you where it is I plan on going with my channel and what I'd like to do with it. So as far as my channel goes right now, if you scroll through all my videos, I am kind of all over the place with what it is I am trying to do with my channel. I'm still trying to figure out what it is my purpose is with having my channel, and that's something that I look forward to kind of delving a little bit deeper in when it comes to growing spiritually. I'd like to see if it is a calling that I have or something that the Lord has put on my heart to have this channel and share something with you guys, whatever it might be. So that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is on this platform. But until then, I just am really enjoying the process of being able to share videos no matter what it is. I love getting to record videos for you guys, edit them, and then upload them and kind of promote them in whatever way that might look like. But I feel like I got sidetracked, so as far as my YouTube channel goals go, I would love to be able to try to get my channel monetized by the end of the summer. I have been working super hard on this goal, and I think for the past 2 weeks I've been able to upload a video each day, which has been it has been a lot of work, but it has been something that I have really enjoyed because it keeps me busy and it keeps me motivated. And my word for this month, as far as my Rachel Hollis planner goes, you're supposed to choose a word for your month to kind of like motivate you and help you to achieve your goals. And my word for this month was momentum. And I feel like I've gained a ton of momentum trying to create my videos to share with you guys. So I would love to be able to get my channel monetized by the end of the summer. I'm still going to work really hard towards that goal, even though it is a really ambitious goal and I'm not sure if I will actually be able to reach it, but I'm still going to try to work really hard because it gives me something that I'm able to work on and work towards, and it helps me to be motivated when it comes to having my channel. But that is one of the goals that I have for myself, and I also made a goal when it was back in when I was spending time at home during quarantine. I think it was around March. I had set a goal to reach 100,000 subscribers by that time next year, and that is an even more ambitious goal, and I'm not sure if I will be able to reach that at all either, but I have set these goals in place so that way I know what it is that I'm working on towards for my channel and what the purpose is that I might have behind that. So those are the goals that I have for my channel. I'm still going to work super hard this year and the remaining rest of the year to kind of grow my channel, and I just love being able to see the growth of it. It's kind of a hobby for me, but I'd love to be able to have it kind of turn, or I guess it has kind of started to turn into my side hustle, and so once I'm able to start to monetize it, I'd love to be able to work on it a little bit harder and also just share a lot of positive and helpful information and videos with you guys. Okay, so that was a lot of rambling about my third goal, but my fourth goal was to learn to invest in the stock market. And that's something that I have kind of put on hold for a little bit just because of the volatility of the market right now. I still think that I need to definitely do a lot more research and learning when it comes to that goal. When I was back at home during, I think it was like March and everything, when the market was just going crazy and it was going down, I was looking into it a lot, and I definitely spent and invested not a lot of money, but a good amount in the market just to get my feet wet and just try to figure out what comes with investing in the stock market. But I think the best thing that I can do when it comes to all of my goals right now is I need to find a way that I can incorporate them all together and also find a balance between finding times to work on them. I am going super hard on my YouTube channel right now, but I think that learning how to invest in the stock market is also a really great skill and kind of knowledge to have, so I would like to be able to spend some time focusing on that as well. So whether it is learning and kind of figuring out some knowledge on how to invest in the stock market and maybe sharing it with you guys here on my YouTube channel, I think that would be a great way for me to be able to work on both of my goals simultaneously. So as far as how I've done on this goal, I know I've kind of rambled a little bit about it, but I think that I have done all right with it. I definitely have my account all set up. I have money in the account as well. I just need to start to do a little bit more research in the companies that I would like to invest in, as well as different strategies or how to be kind of wise when it comes to investing in the stock market. I know there's a lot that goes into it, but I think that with a lot of time and research, I'll be able to get a little bit of a better understanding with it, and that it'll be a skill that will help me in the future. The fifth goal that I had set for myself was something that I kind of had a hard time with before coming into this year, and that goal was to learn to say no. And if you've watched that video or read the blog that I talked about, as far as this goal goes, I had come into the year and I had seen that this was a goal that a lot of people had been setting for themselves, and at first I thought that it was a really selfish goal because it was kind of taking away the ability to help others. And that's how I like to view myself, is I really enjoy being able to help others and be there for other people. But as I kind of started looking into that goal and that idea of learning to say no, I realized what a benefit it could be in my life, and that it's not necessarily a selfish goal, because when you choose to say yes to somebody else, you're saying no to something that you might need to be doing or might be being called towards doing instead. So by saying yes to somebody else, you're putting their needs before you, which is definitely a good thing. It's something that I still am doing, but I guess I might not be able to say it in a coherent way, but it kind of goes in line with my first goal on what my calling actually is. If I'm putting the needs of somebody else before me, I'm taking away from the calling that I'm actually being called towards in my life. And because that's something that I still definitely wanted to do, I love being able to help others, but I think I've been able to kind of figure out the balance of how to help others, but also know when to say no, and how to be able to work on what it is I am being called towards, and also things that I actually need to get done in my own life. And finally, my sixth and final goal was to learn how to maintain a daily routine. And this is something that I feel like I have gone on and off with. I have done all right with it, but going into this year, I was doing really well. I would get up early, I would go to the gym, and then I would go to work. But then, of course, whenever all of the quarantine and stuff happened, I flew back up to Pennsylvania, and so just being at home kind of shifted with the morning routine that I had for myself. I still tried to get up early and walk, and also now that I was starting my YouTube channel, I tried to do some work in the morning so I could spend time with my family in the evening. But I think that it has been something that I've been able to work on a little bit better recently, now that I am back down here at my home in Florida and I'm on my own again. I have been able to kind of get back into the groove of having a morning routine. So what I like to do is I like to get up in the morning. I will most likely be starting to read some type of scripture, but I have been doing some devotionals, and then I also like to block out some time to be able to plan or schedule something with my side hustle for the rest of the day. So I'll either get up and I will write out like a script for a YouTube video, or I will try to work on something else that will help me whenever I get done with work and at the end of the day. And so I like to get up, I like to do that, and then I'll go on a run or a walk, whatever it is. I'll try to get a workout in and then come back and be showered, so that way I am ready for my day. I can work because I'm still working from home. And so after I get done working, I can just hop right into whatever it is I want to do for the evening, which most likely at this point will be working on a video for my YouTube channel, but I want to be able to start to incorporate some other things that I have maybe going on as well. So as far as having a daily routine and trying to maintain that, I feel like I've done a pretty good job on that. So maintaining a daily routine is something that I have found very beneficial in my life, and it helps me to be very motivated and kind of stick to working on some of these goals that I have set for myself. So I look forward to keeping up a daily routine and trying to stick to that for sure. So that was my mid-year goal review, guys. I just wanted to share that with you because I think a lot of times when you share goals with people, or that you kind of put it out there that you have these goals for yourself, it kind of gives you a little bit of an accountability to actually be able to work on them, and to know that other people are there supporting you, and also know that you are working on these things, so it helps you to get the motivation to be able to finish them and do them. So as far as my goal goes, like I've said, I think that I've done an alright job on them considering all that has been going on with this year, but I look forward to being a little bit more intentional about them and trying to work on certain areas in my life that these goals might help with, or that I can use to work on them a little bit harder. So thank you for listening to my video today. I hope that this was beneficial to you, and that maybe if you had some goals set for yourself for this year, that you are able to be maybe thinking about how you can kind of review them and kind of reflect on how they might have been going in your life recently, or if you've been able to work on them and how that might have looked like. So thank you again for tuning in. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel to keep up with my journey on YouTube, as well as some fellow other videos that I decide to post in the future. So thanks so much again, guys. Thank you for watching this, and we'll see you later.